Alright, so I held this off for quite a while, not because I wanted to, because I'm lazy about it, but a few of you guys been asking for core data video. Now, I thought I made this a while back, but I guess not, because I was doing my research back. Apparently I didn't update this or anything, make it like a proper guide. I think I made one on how to farm like core data chips, but I didn't really talk about like core data shop. Or maybe I did, but like a 6 minute video. I made this like 4 months ago. Anyways, though, if you guys want a proper core data video, here you go. This is it right here. Core data video. Um, yeah. So if you guys don't know where to farm this stuff, again, there's a video about that on where to farm and like how to do all that stuff 4 months back. I'll link it into the description of this video so you guys can watch that. But let's go through the process of core data chips and how to spend these. Let's start off with categories because I think that's like the best way to do it. So if you're a new game player, there's actually two routes that you can do this as a new game player. If you guys want immediate boom to progression, I say the best way to get value out of your core data chips are going to be pick up some of these rare chips. There's a few good ones in here, such as Rune Moose is really good. You can pick up some battle cruisers and stuff as well too. Lustrous Moose is okay too, but for the most part though, getting Rune Moose pretty early is actually not a bad ship because she can probably last you like quite a fair while in your game's lifetime until you get to absolute end game. So getting her is actually not a bad pick. So Rune Moose again, I made this like a while back, but definitely is a solid pick to get as a new game player. Now, if you guys want gear investments, all right, let's go. So this is gonna be the fun part. Now, if you're a new player, I say you're gonna be lacking a lot of things when it comes to core data. But I say the biggest thing in pickup as of right now, as a new player, is going to be uh the auxiliaries. So black and white pencils are really good. Essentially, the white one is better because of the hits. And if you want to gamble on crit damage, there you go. So that's gonna be better. Obviously, you want both in the near future, but having at least the white one for now is okay. 3 of each is what you want to aim for. So get that done, and you guys should be good to go. Going down the list, homing beacons are also very good. One thing a lot of people lack in this game are permastats and just like ring shifts in general. A lot of the people that do watch my videos are free to play, so if you guys are free to play, your ships aren't ringed, meaning you have less reload, meaning it takes more time to get your ships off the ground. So one way to alleviate having lower reload and lower perma reload stat is by having homing beacons. So homing beacons are actually really good, especially for low invested players in the game because it makes your carriers airstrike faster. And I know a lot of people in this game have ships like Enterprise. They spend time farming 3-4 for a Kagikaga. Homing beacon is actually a really good pickup. It's a really good pickup. So I highly recommend getting those as well too. It's a really good early game pickup by all means. Very good. Aside from that though, there's no really good early game pickup as of right now. A lot of things can be substituted or have just as good alternatives, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Now, later in your game's life, when you guys reach mid-game, this is where you want to change things up a bit. So, torpedoes, these Type 93 pure oxygen torpedoes. If you guys want to do any kind of like heavy bombing with torpedoes, this is a solid option to pick up mid-game. This is where you can get into like the little bit more difficult bosses. So if you guys just want to blow through things like medium armor, heavy armor stuff, getting a couple of these things is actually really good. It also helps with farming events because there are some events that has like, please put in, I don't know, 2,000 torpedo stat into farming. And some people want to do 1-1 farming or whatever. So if you guys aren't doing 1-1 farming, it's not a big deal. But some people do want to do 1-1 farming. Having these around though, it will help out a lot because it gives plus 100 torpedo stat into your auxiliary at plus 10. So that's very solid. Now another good mid-game pickup are going to be these F4U Pirate Squads Corsairs. Really good for World 12 and World 13. So getting like 2 of these is going to be really, really helpful when you guys get to World 12 and 13. So if you guys need them, highly recommend picking these up as well. Now going down the list some more, some of these stuff are optional. Whenever you guys get a large cruiser in the game that isn't like E-Girl, pretty much she wants to have VH plating, so buy this. Just one is fine. You don't have to buy 2 of them, but having one of these for your main large cruiser tank is going to be very nice to have. Aside from that, though, there isn't really much pickup for mid game. There are some submarine stuff that you guys can grab as well too. Personally, I don't dive too much into these, but having snorkels and stuff and these pressure resistance hulls when you have bitters is really, really good. So if you guys want to buy those, you guys can, but I wouldn't worry about focusing on submarines too much as a mid game player because there's better things out there to do to get more value out of your progression for your ships. Now, we reached end game. You guys are probably a year and a half, 2 years into the game. You guys have a decent amount of core data stuff bought. Bought out all the white shells, bought out a couple oxygen torpedoes, bought out a couple homing beacons, and got all the necessary stuff to get. This is where the fun part begins. So as an end game player, unless you're very, very casual, like absolute casual, you're gonna need these cog chips. I buy these out every single month, the regular ones and the arrays. So if you guys are very, very active, you guys are gonna need these cog chips. Highly recommend buying out both of them, especially the cog arrays. Now, some people are gonna say buy cog arrays early, and I do agree because these things are very, very gated. But I'm assuming as a mid-game player, you're still buying some of the stuff in the core data shop, and that's much more important as of right now than worrying about 125 stuff, because at 125 stuff, you're doing like arbiter fights, you're doing meta runs, World 14, but you're not even close to World 14 if you're like in chapter 12 and 13, so you have ways to go. I don't want to worry about cog races right now though, but these are definitely something to look forward to when you get into the later stage of the game because they are very, very gated. And then once you're done with that, again, going back, you guys can pick up some of the submarine stuff, pressure hulls, get like 3 of these if you guys want to. Improved snorkels can work as well too if you guys don't have bitters yet. Can work out as well. Grabbing like a few of everything can be very, very nice. Seal of the 4 gods if you guys are running the Chinese missile girls like Chan Chun and Anshan. Having 2 of these are very, very nice. You can run some cheeky stuff with gauntlets as well too. So having one of these are also very nice to have if you guys want to go into doing that. Blackburns to save yourself some time. Crafting wyverns because you guys do need these to craft wyverns or some one of these planes. I think it was the Blackburn. You're gonna need this to craft wyverns, so saves you like time if you guys want to do it that way. That's also another option as well too. Kumo 25, I don't use this as much nowadays, but having 1 or 2 of these is actually really good if you guys want to just have more damage on vanguards and survivability isn't an issue for you. Missiles as well too. Again, if you guys want to invest into the Chinese missile DDs, having 2 of these is very, very important. I think you can get one for free. I'm not exactly sure, but having 2 of these though, it's gonna be very, very nice to have. And then the other ones, Avengers, are nice, but if you guys are going wyverns, you guys can skip these. I won't worry about it too much. And then the Royal Navy shells, I'm not a fan of these, so skip those entirely. And if you guys are doing any like casino stuff with EX, aviation material cargo is nice to have as well too. And all the other stuff I wouldn't worry about too much. None of the other gear are as important. The rune move stuff is just music. Just ignore those. The other gear here are kind of negligible. Not a big fan of these at all. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Swordfish, some kind of memey stuff. I bought it early, but it's kind of memey. Never buy boxes. These are not worth it. And essentially, that's the rest of the shop right there. So end game stuff. There isn't really mandatory stuff to pick up at end game except from the cog chips if you're active. All the other stuff are just very, very optional. There's not like any mandatory pickups. Most of the mandatory pickups in the game, in the shop that you guys will need are going to be early game pickups, which are going to be the 2 shells right here, the black and white shell, the Corsairs right here, 2 of these, and maybe homing beacons. You guys want to run more carrier stuff. Those are basically the most important things to pick up from the core data ship overall. So hopefully you guys like that video. Made a quick one for you guys to just get a TLDR out there for you. Let me guys know what you think. Any questions or whatever. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.